Alert! Data records discovered for units Devola and Popola. Do you wish to open this data now? Are we visual noveling about the past? A dusty wind kisses my cheeks. Buried in sand, we press forward one step at a time. We have nowhere else to go, after all. Because our models, the Devola and Popola models, are defective. Record. Transitions in the project's initial phase. When first we woke, there were still people. They had flesh, egos, emotions, souls, and they issued us a single order. Function as observers of Project Gestalt. This is the sole mission of the twin Devola and Popola models. It is the only reason we exist at all. We were the latest model, though many companions shared our appearance. There was a sparkle in all of our eyes, a sense of pride at having been entrusted with humanity's future. And yes, there was an anxiety as well. But we existed as a pair. We shared destiny's burden as a pair, and because of that, all hesitation was swept away. Each pair was given their own cities as observation areas. We were ordered to guide the replicants with our own hands, all for the sake of the promised time that would one day arrive. We were the only ones who could handle such a duty. We were observers, after all. Ah! Watch out! Devola staggers and falls in the soft yet unforgiving sand. I hurry to her side and sigh with relief when I find she's not seriously hurt. Are you alright? Sorry, sis. Guess I spaced out there for a bit. She smiles, the same wry smile I know so well, as she rubs absently at her leg. It is wrapped in a white bandage. Your bandage is coming undone. Here, let me change it. It's alright, Popola. Come on. We have to go before we lose the light. By the way, this is like... people talk about the idea of, like, this game being friendly for newcomers and stuff like that didn't play the first game, but, like... Devola and Popola getting this weird emphasis all of a sudden is weird, because, like, they weren't in the main story at all for a very long time, and then very abruptly start becoming characters in the main story during the final chapters, basically, and now we're getting a whole chapter of their own for retrospective, like, what happened with them. Like, yes, they're not the same Devola and Popola from NieR, but, like, this has, like, significantly more weight if you played the first game or watched it or something, whereas if you're just coming into this here, they're like, the fuck, why are we paying so much attention to two redheads that just showed up? Like, it doesn't have the same impact. We won't be going anywhere if the sand gets into that thing. Now quit whining and hold still. I'll be quick. Devola grunts and turns away. I take it as consent. Soon we were resting in the shade of a nearby rock as I pull the bandage free. Artificial skin, torn and bloodied, peeks out from beneath the bandage. Judging by Devola's current lack of ambulatory control, I imagine the circuitry underneath has been damaged as well. Taking a deep breath, I check the circuitry to see if it can be repaired. We're having... It's weird to have choices here in like context of something that already happened. As expected, wiring in the nerve circuitry has been damaged. Replacing it with new connectors, as well as some tools. Sorry, replacing it will require some new connectors and tools. None of which is easy to find in a desert. Sorry about this, sis, mutters Devola. That wry smile again. It kills me every time. Don't you dare apologize, I respond. You've done nothing wrong. I calmly change the bandage, trying not to let my worry show. I make it as tight as possible, so no sand can slip inside. It's all I can do until I get the proper materials. But that's going to be a tall order, considering our current condition. I'm sorry, sister. Okay, now you're apologizing. We both apologize while insisting the other's apology isn't necessary. It's kind of funny, in a way. Such a trivial exchange under such circumstances. We laugh together. The sound echoing out across the desert before being stolen by the cool evening wind. Report regarding the increase in relapses. There has to be some way to prevent the relapses. Devola's sharp voice echoes through our private quarters. You must be quiet, sister. The replicants will hear. Pfft, they wouldn't understand, even if they did. That might be true, but regardless. Annoyed at my hesitation, Devola crosses her legs and scowls. The black scrawl took another victim, she says. That's 3 this month. It's spreading way too fast. Let's wait and see what happens. I'm tired of hearing you say that. Her shout makes me jump. Just a little, but enough for her to notice. Seeing that, her eyes suddenly open wide. I'm sorry, sis. It's not your fault. I shouldn't have lashed out like that. It's okay. I understand. It's all going wrong. You can feel it too, right? When I was first assigned to Project Gestalt, I was over the moon with pride. But now my chest hurts just to think about it. If it were to fail... Before we knew it, the replicants had gained a sense of self, and the black scrawl started raging out of control. It moved fast. So fast. Like a wind. Popola and I would go to the observation room and act like it was all okay. We'd talk to the replicants, as if we didn't have a care in the world. But at night, we'd just hold each other and share the horror of it all. I'm glad you were with me, murmurs Popola. I couldn't have handled being an observer all alone. We were able to endure because we had each other, I reply softly. Did the humans see this coming? Is that why they made a twin model? Were they really so clever? Were they really so cruel? I couldn't have done this by myself. I would have descended into madness. I simply couldn't bear such a burden all alone. So what we're talking about here is that the when white chlorination syndrome started wiping out humanity, they split the human soul away from their bodies into what are called gestalts, and they had things called replicants that the actual gestalts were supposed to be able to later occupy once the plague was basically gone. But the replicants started becoming self-aware and became their own creatures, which just further muddies the waters of how the crazy world works in NieR, where everybody is a different variation of fake human in a way and machine, and every character is artificial and makes you question what makes somebody a person in the first place, because all the humans are just gone at some point. But here they were, like, overseeing these replicants that the humans were supposed to return to one day, and watching them all become self-aware and no longer suitable for their purpose. And it's like watching the slow extinction of the human race. When I get the chance, I'm going to try contacting another city, she says. Maybe these abnormalities are all localized phenomenon. I pray that's the case, I reply. Even if we're of no use ourselves, things will still work out. If the other observers can pull through. Don't worry. It's going to be okay. But it wasn't okay. Nothing was okay. All thanks to a pair of Devola and Popola models from another town. The wind rubs my cheeks, the sand grazes my skin. It's grown cold out here. We walk with renewed purpose, hoping to make up for lost time. Devola loses her balance every now and then. It gets bad after a while. I slip myself under her arm so she won't fall again, and we press on. Is your leg alright? Well, I doubt I'll be dancing anytime soon. But yeah, it's fine. She smiles as she says this, but I can tell it doesn't have much left. She doesn't have much left, and yet she continues to smile. Also, I don't worry. I remember when our resistance allies injured her leg. I was furious. Beyond fury, I wanted to scream and cry and lose myself in it. But then she smiled, and all that rage just drifted away. To think we have the same face, yet such different smiles. That's kind of noteworthy too, yeah, because in, what was it? In NieR, you eventually fight Devola and Popola when it was revealed that they were working against you more or less, because you were, more specifically you, without knowing it, are working against the entire Gestalt replicant program that you don't know is a thing. And you kill Devola during that fight first, and Popola just loses her mind immediately. And we're kind of getting a hint of that fury that gets silenced. One day, I realized how she reminded me of the martyrs I'd seen in old records. That was the day we decided to leave our town forever. Record of Project Gestalt's end. Our role as observers ended on the day Project Gestalt collapsed. All due to the actions of Devola and Popola models from another town. With the original Gestalt lost, humanity was doomed to an inevitable extinction. Knowing this, we gathered what remaining replicant data we could find and launched it at the surface of the moon. And though success was as unlikely as finding a lost sand grain in the desert, we still had to attempt it. We still had to try. We were androids, you see. Protecting humanity was our instinct. Other androids, beholden to that same instinct, began to direct their hate at the Devola and Popola models who'd snuffed out humanity. It started small. A few hand-off remarks, the occasional glance. But even the smallest things have weight. And with enough of them combined, that weight eventually becomes a boulder. Emotions boil over, remarks become jeers, and soon enough, my sister and I were the perfect target for persecution. At first, we simply accepted the fact that our friends turned on us. It was almost unavoidable, I suppose. We were observers for Project Gestalt after all. And while we didn't cause it to fail, the people who did, well, they looked just like us. So we accepted it. We took the resentment and scorn. We endured. Because as crazy as it sounds, I think we actually felt responsible. We moved from town to town in an effort to avoid persecution. But in one such town, my seemingly infinite patience finally broke. My sister, Devola, met with unprovoked violence at the hands of a resistance member. She said something in response to his taunts. Something quiet. And though her words were ambiguous, he slashed her leg nearly in two. My vision narrowed, everything went red, and then she smiled at me. It's okay, sis. There's nothing we can do. But it was too late. My emotions were no longer in my control. I'm simply not strong enough to stand aside and let the most important person in the world come to harm. Devola and I left town the same day. Violence like that wouldn't stop. It was going to happen again. And it wouldn't be coming from just one person. So rather than let them kill us, we ran. I guess it was the greatest resistance I could muster. We lose the sun as dark clouds gather overhead. We continue our march. A cold wind blasts us, stealing what little body heat we have left. I smell rain in the air. We continue our march. Sometimes we hear animals howling in the distance. It makes us flinch every time, but we continue our march. Because even this is better than suffering at the hands of our fellow androids. Why must we suffer this persecution? I know we're the same model as the androids who doomed humanity. So I understand that part. At least a little, anyway. But at the same time, we're not them. We're not the same. And who we are, and that Devola and Popola, who they were, that's how I felt when I saw Devola being hurt. I wanted to shout it at everyone. I wanted to scream. As far as I'm concerned, there's only one Devola. And for her, there's only me. No one can take the other's place. Rain falls from the sky. It stimulates our sensation nerves like cold needles. We need maintenance badly, but that's a pipe dream, I suppose. No android would dare help a pair of outcasts like us. Are you cold, Devola? I'm alright, as long as you're with me, sis. I feel the same. We press our bodies together to try and retain heat. It's cold now, much worse than the searing heat of midday. But we just smile at each other and keep pressing on. There's another camp on the other side of the desert. A new camp. If we can just get there, I can finally fix Devola's leg. And yet I wonder if there's anywhere on this planet that will take us. Hey, what's wrong? It's nothing. Don't worry about it. I do what I can to suppress the anxiety in my chest and keep walking. The rain grows worse. It lashes at us without pause. Is this our punishment? I reach out and touch Devola's cheek. The rain flows down her cheeks like tears. I reach over and gently wipe it away. She smiles, but she seems surprised. There's no point in doing that, you know, she whispers. But there is. Because I swore to myself that I wouldn't stay with her forever. That I would stay with her forever. For that is the fate. We twin androids have been assigned. The failure to manage the area resulted in the collapse of the Gestalt system, which led to the decimation of the human race. Due to the discovery of its instability, the twin system was removed from future android production designs. Following the incident, the Devola and Popola models were not dismantled. However, in order to prevent future unexpected behavior, they underwent a memory wipe. Furthermore, they were reprogrammed to generate constant feelings of guilt.
That is all that remains from their personal record during the era in which they were referred to as administrators.
I see.
Query: why do the androids Devola and Popola seem to prefer death over surviving alone? There was a very high probability that at least one could have escaped.
I hope you never have to understand.
Affirmative.
He understands because it's how he felt about 2B.
Why does this tower possess an entrance at all? All material transport takes place via aerial vehicles. It is irrational for an infiltration route to be so easily accessible. Hypothesis: entrance is a trap.
I don't care. I just have to kill them all.
They want us to come in here. That's what's going on. We're supposed to come in here. I'll get to those in a bit. Ah! Got some hacking to do. New weapon, new weapon, new weapon, new. Project Gestalt Report 9. There's more of them still? Holy crap. They just come pouring in. Okay. Machine records. Infant machine's memories. It's so dark, Mommy. I've been born. Mommy? Where are you? What should I do? Tell me what to do, Mommy, please. I'll try my best, please. Don't leave me alone. It's so lonely, Mommy. Mommy? 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 Project Gestalt Report 9, 2054. The discovery and development of the original has contributed greatly to the stabilization of Project Gestalt. Long-term management of the original will be handled by Hamlin Organization. As per management mentioned above, all authority regarding this cryogenic plans for the relapsed Yona is to be transferred to the Hamlin Organization. So Yona is the child of NieR, the protagonist of the previous game, and the character that the franchise seems to be continually be named after, despite never being mentioned in this game so far, I believe. Has anyone ever said NieR out loud yet? I don't think they have. I don't know if that's because they specifically are avoiding that character's mention at all, or if they're just afraid to say his name because he could be customized in name, much like Tidus could be changed name in Final Fantasy X, which was really awkward in Final Fantasy X too. Had whole plot points about going looking for him, and Yona was all like, "It's him!" I think they could never use his name. Man, your units are really embarrassing so far. During the war they all sucked, and now they still all suck. Well, this is a trip, though. Look at this place. It looks like I'm replaying the video game Bound, which is like a ballerina that was dancing her way through a geometric nightmarescape. Not nightmarescape, but just a weird, like, what the hell's going on?
Choosing Tower System Services. We're so today. Don't forget about the special prize for the guest who unlocks the last subunit in the room just ahead. You're going to love it!
Yeah, this is a trap.
Kill you.
What if there's cycles? What if Yorha or equivalents are just destroyed over and over again, and it cycles over and over again, and that's just what the state of the world is like now? Because they're inviting me in, and this entire thing feels like some sort of, like, established procedure or something. The nonsense happening now.
2B models? I'm glad I got to see you here. I truly am. I'll tear you apart. Every last one of you!
God, it's weird seeing his face. Oh boy. Oh boy. 9S has some instabilities, I would say at this point.
To me! Don't worry, I'm going to kill you now!
Watch out. Watch out. Oh goodness. Oh boy. Why are you so excited to kill her? What the hell is going on in your brain?
Alert. Enemies detected.
Still a few stragglers, huh?
Interestingly, I find myself understanding, despite having no screen time practically, I find I understand what's going on inside A2's head better than I ever understood what's going on inside 2B or 9S's head for most of the series. Which is weird to say.